morning, everyone. My name is Lindsay Kafer. You guys can have a seat if you'd like. Thank you. And I'm the director of Skill Train Centers in Davis, McLean, and Ohio counties. And on behalf of our Skill Train Centers and staff and our OCTC family, we want to welcome you to the 2016 GED graduation ceremony. This is a highlight of the year for us, and we are honored that you have chosen to join us tonight. Graduates, friends and family of graduates, and those of you who may be students here who are looking forward to the day when you will get to walk across the stage, we welcome all of you and are glad that you are here. This is indeed a night to celebrate. As all of us know, as adults, we have many different responsibilities that vie for our time and our energy. And the fact that these graduates here tonight were able to carve out the space and the time to pursue this goal is indeed to be commended. And the fact that they actually achieved that goal is a great thing to celebrate. So we are so thrilled to celebrate here tonight with you all. And we appreciate their families joining us in that as well. So with no further ado, I'd like to introduce Cindy Fiorella. She is the Vice President over Workforce Solutions at OCTC. That is the umbrella under which Skill Train falls. So thank you all for being here, and we look forward to celebrating with you.
Good evening. In addition to our special graduates, who are our very special honorees this evening, we have a number of special guests, including Jeff Carpenter. Mr. Jeff Carpenter is the president of the OCTC Board of Directors, and we're delighted he could join us. We have Mr. Mike Rogers, who's the Vice President of Academic Affairs here at OCTC. And we have Ms. Vicki Boyd, who is the former Director of Skill Train. And she's waving, but she doesn't really want to stand up. We want to thank our friends at OCTV for taping graduation ceremony this evening, and our friends from the LRC who have been kind enough to work the magic light board and the pomp and circumstance and all of those wonderful technical things that make the evening special. I want to recognize our staff from Owensboro, Davis County, Ohio, and McLean counties. If you all would stand up, I know each of you all would like to, all of our graduates would like to say a shout out to those folks who have helped them in this journey. So thank you all very much. But there's another group that's very, very important, and they're a large reason that this evening, you folks have come here this evening. I know that there have been family, friends, special folks at work, special individuals in your life that have helped you get here. And graduates, if you'd like to take a moment and stand up and thank those folks here in the audience, let's give them a big round of applause. I'm going to turn the mic over to Dr. Scott Williams, president here at Owensboro Community and Technical College, for him to deliver a message to you. Thanks.
Well, you don't have to applaud yet. Let me give my 30 or 45-minute speech, then I'm just kidding. I wouldn't put y'all through that, so they had to warn me. Keep it short, Scott, so I'll do that. Well, whoa, that's not good. Well, now that we've had that out of the way, I would like to welcome everybody. I'd like to welcome the graduates, your spouses, your significant others, family, friends, all those that have to support you tonight. I would just like to say welcome on behalf of the faculty and staff here at Owensboro Community and Technical College. We are glad to have you this evening. You know, this is truly really one of my favorite times of the year, both this graduation or commencement ceremony, because it's really a time when I have the opportunity to really share in your success, to see the confidence and pride in your eyes, knowing that what you have accomplished tonight is something worthwhile and very special, really means a lot to me, as it does to all of those that help support you through this endeavor. I'm very excited to be here and really share this occasion with each and every one of you. Graduates, I really want to congratulate you on your successful completion of your GED. Like those around you this evening, I want you to know that I'm so very proud of your accomplishment. I know the courage, the determination, the hard work that it took for you to be here tonight and walk across this stage. And for that, you should be extremely proud of your accomplishment and very, very excited tonight. The joy, pride, and sense of accomplishment that you're feeling tonight is really only the beginning, okay? How do I know this? One, I've been in positions very much like this, and I know that your determination and hard work is really what's got you through tonight. And I am confident that you will experience many more successes in your lifetime. Absolutely confident in that. Along the way, you'll probably have some setbacks, though, and remember that these are only speed bumps and not the end of the road. Winston Churchill tells us that success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It's really the courage to continue is really what counts. Because everyone experiences these speed bumps in life. All of us have. How many of you have ever heard of Abraham Lincoln? You might know anything about who is Abraham Lincoln? Yeah, well, I would agree with that, but he was our 16th president. He too completed his secondary education later in life, much like yourself. He experienced many setbacks before ever becoming the 16th president of the United States. How many of y'all know he went broke twice in the dry goods business? Wasn't a very successful business person. Did you know that he actually ran for state, regional, and national offices many, many times and was not elected? But he persevered, he worked hard, he continued on, and eventually became the 16th president of the United States. Another interesting fact about Abraham Lincoln is he was not very good with regards to being in the military. He went into the Black Hawk War as a captain. You know what rank he came out of that war? A private. He got bumped all the way down, so he wasn't very successful as a military leader as well. But he was a very successful president. He's just one example of many. How many of y'all have ever heard of Albert Einstein? Pretty smart fellow, wasn't he? Did you know that he was actually removed from school at a very early age? His teacher said, you might as well take him home. He doesn't need to be in school. He's never going to make it. He's just not going to be a good student. Okay? He finally made it through school and he applied to college. First college he applied for, do you think he got in? He was rejected. Okay? Albert Einstein never gave up. He continued to work hard, and the rest is history. I don't need to tell you, he was a very brilliant individual, and to this day, quite a story of success. But the key element in all of these is they never gave up, they worked hard, and they continued to succeed, no matter what the speed bumps of life had to put in front of them. So, with that being said, in short, I want you to know that your hard work, your determination, and your courage to learn from your mistakes and to continue and work forward are what makes you successful and will continue to make you successful. As I mentioned, tonight is only the beginning of your journey. I encourage you to continue your education, very important, so that you can achieve the life and the earning potential that you want for both yourself and your family. Tonight's not the end. It's only the beginning. I have no doubt that you will succeed in this phase of your life, just as you have successfully graduated with your GED. How do I know that? Because I believe in you. I believe totally in what you're capable of, and you've proven that to me by walking across this stage tonight. You've already shown me what you can do and that you're willing to work hard and be successful. Colin Powell once said, there's no secrets to success. It's a result of preparation, hard work, and learning from failure. All of you have exhibited that just by being here tonight. So again, in closing, I want you to know that I'm very proud of what you have done and what you've accomplished here. I commend you for your success. I look forward to seeing you all enrolled in classes in the fall semester. So with that being said, congratulations.
Hello, I'm Karen Miller. I'm the Assistant Director of the Davis County Skill Train Office, and I want to echo what everyone has said here. Welcome and congratulations. I get the pleasure of introducing a couple guest speakers tonight. The first guest speaker I've known her for about a year. Last year, 1 year ago, I sat here and listened to a speech that she gave, which was phenomenal. I want to welcome this student back. She's actually come back to work with Skill Train, so we're glad to have her back. That's Misty Eastwood.
Hey everybody. Hello, my name is Misty Eastwood, and I'm a GED graduate of 2015. First off, let me say congratulations. You made it. You done it. I'm telling you. Big accomplishment. Let me ask you a question. How many graduates today let obstacles that were thrown their way stop you from getting your education? I was one of those. I'm sure many of you here this evening have a story to share to what prolonged you from getting your education. I, for one, know how cruel this world can be. I'm going to share with you tonight how I achieved my GED after being out of school for 20 years. After working countless jobs and not getting anywhere in this life, I finally decided enough was enough. I had tried for many years to get my GED, but I never succeeded because I was always working just to make ends meet and really did not have the time to put into it. I was so tired of seeing the disappointment in my children's eyes because I was barely making ends meet. Without a high school diploma or GED, I was subject to work either in fast food or, if I was even lucky, maybe a factory, until they started requiring a high school diploma or a GED. In 2013, I finally said enough was enough, and I moved my family to Owensboro. It was rough when we first moved here because I didn't know that here in Owensboro that you had to have either a GED or a high school diploma to get a job here also. Needless to say, I moved up here to struggle once again. I needed extra income to help with my children, so I applied for KTAP benefits. The requirements were that I worked 30 hours a week and I volunteered. There was no pay, just 30 hours a week volunteer for the little bit of KTAP money I did get for my children. After doing that for 2 months and struggling, I learned of the Work and Learn program, where you could work and get your education at the same time. When I was told about the program at first, I did not believe it, so I called myself to find out. I spoke with Miss Carrie Calhoun, and she set me up an appointment to come to her office and fill an application. I was anxiously waiting for a response back from Miss Carrie, and about 2 weeks later, I was told I qualified for the program. The same week I was supposed to start the program, I was hit with another obstacle in my life. My mother passed away July 29th of 2014. I wanted to give up then. I felt like I didn't have any reason to keep moving forward, but then I thought about how my mother would be upset if I quit because that was the one thing my mother wanted for me, anything in this world, because my mother had to quit school at a young age to raise a family. On August 4, 2014, I started my journey towards my GED. I didn't realize how hard it was going to be. I studied day in and day out. The first couple of tests I failed, I was really bummed out, and I told myself, maybe this is not for me. So instead of giving up, I went harder. I attended Mr. Jim and Mr. Bryan's math class Monday through Thursday every week, didn't miss a beat. While I was attending their class, I also got on Fast Forward, and I tested myself to see where my strong subjects was and what my weak ones was. Of course, math and science was my weak ones. I tested myself every day on Fast Forward until I would only miss a few questions that I knew, and then I knew I would be ready to take that subject. After I finally passed the subject, I finally got the confidence to keep going, because before then, I was ready to give up. I got really discouraged because I failed the math 3 times and had to wait 60 days to test again. I almost gave up then, but instead of giving up, I just kept pushing. Finally, June 2015, I passed my math section of my GED. I'll never forget that day. I was in shock. I ran into Skill Train to Miss Lita. I was sweating everywhere, crying when I told her I passed. She put the cap and gown on me and took my picture. That was the best feeling in the world, as all you should know. I told myself, now I can give myself and my children a future. I can honestly say, if it was not for God being by my side and Miss Carrie with the Work and Learn program, I would never be where I am today. Also, if it wasn't for the awesome teachers and staff at Skill Train, I would not be where I am today neither. I'm currently enrolled in Owensboro Community College, going into my 3rd semester of classes, and I'm a work-study student working for the college. I encourage each and every one of you to enroll here at OCTC. This transition has changed my life drastically. I see you over laughing at me. I'm playing. In closing, let me tell you this. We all are unique individuals, and we all go through obstacles and heartache in our lifetime. Do not let that stand in your way of making a better life for yourself and your family. No matter if you have a learning disability, a physical disability, do not let that stand in your way. And if you have somebody telling you that you can't and won't do it, let that put the fire under you to prove them wrong. Do not let what you have been through in your lifetime to determine your future. Because I promise you, nobody is perfect, and you will see brighter days. But I'm going to leave you with this. It's a famous quote I have. For the last couple of weeks, I've been around Skill Train, and everybody who's been passing, I've kind of been singing this little song. You know what I'm talking about. And please, I am not a musician, so don't laugh at me too hard. But this is for you graduates. When you feel you're down and out and you feel like you can't do anything, listen, put this song in your head, because there's nothing wrong. Music really helps people in this world. It really does. So I'm going to leave you with this. At first you don't succeed, pick yourself up and try again. Pick yourself up and try again, try again. Yeah, congratulations, graduates.
I'm not going to sing, I promise. Okay. Our next guest speaker, I first met her last year. She was very devoted, came in every day, was devoted, and everything just kept trucking. And then just like that, she got her GED. Everything just fell into place for her. She has a lot of anxiety, so she's taking deep breaths there, as do I. So this is going to be huge for her, but she's going to do this, okay? Heather Moss.
I'm not going to sing either, so letting y'all know. Thank you for introducing me. My name is Heather Moss. I'm 30 years old, and I just graduated from the GED program earlier this year. I started my journey a year and a half ago when I decided I wanted to change my life and my future for myself, but also for my daughter, Bliss. The day I laid my eyes on her, I knew I wanted to make her proud and give her the best life that she deserves. And that starts with me, my education, and my drive to change our future. To get my degree before she is old enough to understand or feel upset because mommy's too busy to play. I wanted her to know that I'm always here for her, and I don't want her to be tainted by my struggle. When I first heard about the Kentucky Works program, I thought, wow, this is my chance. It sounded too good to be true, and I felt lucky. If it wasn't for this program, I wouldn't be where I am today. I'd lose precious moments with my daughter, working overtime or 2 jobs just to give her the life that I never had. And I probably wouldn't have had time to obtain my GED or decide to go to college like I am today. I'm not the best at school, which scares me. I struggle every day. I'm ADHD, dyslexic, and I suffer from anxiety. It's been rough. I'm not taken serious, and people mostly see me as a failure. My best was never good enough. That's the worst feeling, when I tried so hard. To never be told you did good or I'm proud of you. It wasn't easy to keep my head up, but here I am, proving them all wrong because I'm too determined to be defeated, and I'm not a failure. I'm a fighter. And the most important thing in life to me is happiness, doing what I love, catching my dreams, and following my heart, making myself proud and never giving up. I'd like to take a moment to thank the ladies in Skill Train and my fellow classmates and my teachers for all their support and knowledge. Without you, I'd be lost. And to the graduating GED class of 2015 and 2016, look inside yourself and recognize that change starts with you. It starts with me. It starts with all of us. It always seems impossible until it's done, but dreams don't work unless you do. Congratulations, we did it.
That was awesome, Heather. Congratulations. I'm Susan Jolly. I work with the centers in McLean and Ohio County. So very proud of that. I would like to introduce to you tonight Brianna Basham. She's from McLean County. Brianna's teachers said that she always came into class with a smile and always discussed her future plans because she knew she would be graduating. It wasn't a matter of if she would be, just when. She wanted to pursue a college degree as a vet tech in order to better provide for her child and her family. She was a student that always kept her teachers on their toes. As one of her instructors stated, she was a bird of a different color. Her exuberant personality will definitely be missed, but we are hoping and we're rest assured that we will still continue to see her because she's going to enroll. Please join me in welcoming Brianna Basham.
Thank you, Susan. Good evening, everybody. My name is Brianna Basham, and I'm 24 years old. My parents always wanted me to graduate high school, but I had to drop out to help my dad because he needed a lung transplant. So after he recuperated from that, I decided to earn my GED. I was going to class on and off. Then I had my son. And it was time to get serious. I finally decided to make a better life for myself and my sons too. My experience at Skill Train was wonderful. They treated me like family, and they respected me. Teresa was a wonderful language teacher, worst subject ever. And for Lauren, I could not ask for a better math teacher. The way she broke down the math problems so I can understand was great. Those two women helped a lot. The first day I went there, I was scared to death. Then I got there, and Teresa had a big smile, like she always does. And I felt welcome. It was a wonderful place to learn. It's a wonderful place to earn your GED. I wanted to get my GED to go to college and make something of myself. I wanted to become a vet tech to help animals to find a better home, which I hate those commercials when they look so sad. Studying for the GED was a little hard because I had a 2-year-old that always wanted my attention. When I took my first test, I was scared and nervous. It was the first time I ever gotten this close to my GED. Once I got my 2 subjects down, I started feeling pretty good. I felt more comfortable with it. Since I earned my GED, I signed up for college. I took my placement test. I took my Compass placement test. The next step up is for college classes. Everything in my life is looking up. It's such a wonderful feeling. No, I'm going to college. For those who are trying to earn their GED, you can do this. If I can do it, you can too. If you have children, I understand your challenges, but you can make it. Once you get your first test down and get your scores, you feel like you're on top of the world. I know I did, and I'm still there. Thank you, Susan.
Okay. I would like to introduce to you one of our graduates from Ohio County, our skill trained there, Mr. Caleb Coombs. I remember the day that Caleb first walked into our center. He was very quiet, but he's not quiet anymore, and he has a reason for that. Caleb attended every class, and he was always the type that went above and beyond. We've heard that statement quite a few times already tonight, haven't we? That's wonderful. One of his teachers stated that he first seemed to zoom right through the curriculum until a beast arrived. And that beast had a name, none other than math. But instead of hanging his head low, he didn't give up, and he was determined. He was persistent and conquered, despite a personal challenge that he had to meet. He was a student that blossomed right before our very eyes, and he's been a pleasure to have indeed. I'm going to let Caleb tell you his story. Please join me in welcoming Caleb Coombs.
Good evening. I'm Caleb Combs, and I managed to get my GED. But seriously, I've accomplished more in the past 2 years than I thought I'd ever do. Just taking a second to tell you all a little bit about myself and my story. I'm 19 years old. I'm from Hartford, Kentucky, and I was homeschooled most of my life, which of course made the GED the easiest and best option for me. I started trying to get my GED back in the summer of 2013 and planned on entering college early. I completed the intake process and was preparing to begin classes when everything started crumbling around me. The worst of which was my grandpa, who was my first and best friend, was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. He fought hard for us all, but he couldn't fight forever and passed away 2 days before Valentine's Day, February 12, 2014. I took a year off to recover from all this and then returned to skill train in Hartford to get my GED. There I met an incredibly helpful team of teachers and administrators who helped me earn my NCRC Silver Certificate in September of 2015. They also helped me on every subject of the GED test, but especially on math, which was my toughest subject. With all their help, I was able to complete my GED on April 30th, 2016. With this in mind, I'd like to send a heartfelt thank you to all those at Skill Train Ohio County and OCTC, and especially to Lauren Brooks, my math teacher, who helped me get here. Now, thanks to them, I have my GED, and I've just completed the Compass test. I also plan on attending OCTC this fall and obtaining my degree in computer science and beginning in my dream career of video game design. I'd like to conclude by thanking everyone who helped me along the way. First of all, I'd like to thank God, who without him, none of this would be possible. Secondly, I'd like to thank all the friends and family who gave me all the much needed encouragement and support along the way. I'd also like to thank once again all the kind people at Skill Train Ohio County and OCTC who gave me the tools and the knowledge to complete this task. And last but certainly not least, I'd like to thank my grandpa, Earl Ray Combs, who in honoring his memory was my drive throughout this challenge and who I could feel with me every step of the way, and to whom I'd like to dedicate this accomplishment, and who I know is looking down right now. So I'd like to finish in saying, if any of you listening have not earned your GED or a college degree yet, don't give up, because you can do it if you really want to. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Okay, our guest speaker of the evening really doesn't need an introduction. I'm surprised he wasn't signing autographs when you all walked in. Art Flores started the journey much like you all did. I'm not going to take a speech from him, but he has been a representative in Owensboro since the day he arrived. If you turn to your right, you may recognize Art. It's nothing for me to turn on the news, and there's Art with positive energy. So welcome, Mr. Art Flores.
I'm about to sing. I'm joking. That was a great introduction, though. Thank you. So, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Arturo Flores, but you can call me Art. I'm here today to speak to the person who is thinking about getting their GED, as well as the person who has received their GED and doesn't know where to go next. I want to share with you my story and what led me to obtaining my GED. I was born and raised in San Diego, California. My household wasn't so bad, or so I thought. I grew up in a single-parent home with a mother and 2 siblings. And to make matters worse, my neighborhood was infested with street gangs. School got difficult for me right from the beginning. I was the first generation in my family to be born in the United States, and because of this, I had to speak Spanish in my household and English in school. Kindergarten went fine because my teacher was bilingual, but in the 1st grade, my teacher only spoke English, so I just shut down because of the pressure. I wasn't interested in learning or participating in anything at all, so I was held back a grade. This made me feel awkward for so long because I was the biggest kid in the class all through elementary school. In junior high, my behavior got worse, and in the 7th grade, I started skipping school, only to be picked up by the police on multiple occasions of truancy. So I got smart, so I thought, and started skipping only the 6th period every day. When I would get caught by the school, I would get sent to detention all day, but would be let out for the 6th period only to repeat the cycle. Ultimately, the 8th grade was the highest grade level I reached. At this point, my mother decided to send me to live with my aunt in Reno, Nevada, but it was really too late because I had already joined a neighborhood gang behind her back. I found in them the acceptance and the sense of family that I so wanted. So when I arrived in Reno, I was carrying the image of a street gangster. That's when my father visited from Mexico and wanted to take me back with him. But that didn't help because I picked up even worse behavior that included drinking and using drugs. When I returned to San Diego, California, my mother now had a 15-year-old son that was out of control and did whatever he wanted to do. I started engaging in criminal activity and had a parole officer from the time I was 15 until the time I turned 28 years old. But first, a couple things happened. In 1998, that further led to my path of destruction. My mother passed away from cancer and my son was born. I was only 18 years old and I couldn't even take care of myself. How was I supposed to care for another life? So I became a runner. I ran from everything, being a father, a son, a brother, a friend, and a upstanding citizen of the cycle. And this cycle of abuse continued into adulthood. And it was, and it's what led me to the penitentiary. I looked into a future full of heartache and regret through cold metal bars. I had finally hit rock bottom and was out of options because I had burned so many bridges along the way, and now I was lost and alone. That's when my family gave me an ultimatum: on the plane to Kentucky, where my father had relocated, or they were done with me. I decided to come to Kentucky, and in less than a year, I found myself in trouble again. My behavior landed me back in front of the judge, who also gave me an ultimatum: serve my time or seek treatment. I chose treatment and had no idea that what would happen next. Shortly after, I arrived to Owensboro Regional Recovery, where I received the life-saving services that I desperately needed to clean up my life. While I was there, I was given the opportunity to go back to school. I didn't want to go back to school at first because I didn't see a need, but my experience getting jobs considered either in construction or factory work, doing hard labor. So I went down to skill train to see about getting my GED. I was discouraged at first since I scored at a 6th grade level in spelling, reading, and math, but I knew I couldn't give up. I worked hard every day, showed up, and the staff at Skill Train assisted me every step of the way. I paid attention and did whatever my teachers asked of me. I also learned to leave my problems at the door so that I could truly focus on what was becoming something very important to me: my education. 3 months later, I had my GED. It felt as if I finally had the keys to my eternal ignition, and now I could start the car. Back then, my reason for obtaining my GED was either become a truck driver or a coal miner. Now, it's not that there is anything wrong with either job, but I had a fear of becoming a truck driver and gaining excess weight, which I really couldn't afford. So I tried coal mining. I registered for classes, but after talking about the probability of death in the coal mines for a whole week, I said, no thanks, I'm just now trying to live. My next move was to enroll here at Owensboro Community and Technical College. However, I did not do good on my placement test. I ended up doing 2 full semesters of classes that were not even at college level. But I went full-time and picked up 2 classes per summer. I did 6 classes in my last semester and was able to graduate in time with my 2-year degree in Associates in Art. I still remember working 3rd shift for 3 years. Sometimes my apartment would be an absolute mess, and sometimes I barely had any time to sleep. At times, my classes would be spaced far apart. During the day, I would park under a tree so I could sleep or eat my lunch in the parking lot in between classes. I made countless appointments to meet with a tutor, but it was all worth it. I continued my education as a full-time student and recently walked the graduation line in this August. Yeah. God willing, I will have my bachelor's degree in social work. I wish to help those that have struggled like I have. I have also now been accepted to the Advanced Standing Master's Degree program, and that is my next goal. People always ask me if college is easy, and I say yes, depending on what you're willing to give up. I don't watch TV or party on weekends. All my free time is spent studying. I do this because I am not the fastest learner, and ultimately, I want my career to not only benefit others, but also get me out of poverty, since sometimes I can still taste government cheese in my mouth. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to succeed. I spend so much wasted energy in youth focusing on all the wrong things. If someone had told me 5 years ago that I would be tackling a master's degree in social work, I would have thought they were crazy. The future was so blurry and distant, but getting my GED put my education in a true focus for me. So you should all be very proud of yourselves today for obtaining your GED. I can't explain the joy I had inside when I was told that I passed. I knew then that no one could ever stop me, and no one could ever stop you either. If you believe it, you can achieve it. Thank you and congratulations.
Fast track master's degree right here. Way to go, Art. Okay, graduates, are you ready? Please rise. Ready? Sky Castell. Jonathan Duncan. Jacob Fogel. Amy Lewis. Jonathan McCoy. Dakota Morning. Heather Moss. Brianna Basham. Caleb Combs. Chad Cook. Tristan Raymer. Elizabeth Roach. Corey Safford. Angelica Vowles. Josh Wilson. Okay, graduates, rise. I'm gonna step back here.
All right. Yes. Well, graduates, thank you for being an inspiration to us. We got to hear a few of your stories tonight, but undoubtedly each of you has your own story of obstacles that you've overcome to getting here. And so we applaud you, we congratulate you, and we're so thrilled to celebrate with you tonight. And now everything is almost official. You have GEDs, you have certificates showing that you were here. All that's left to do is to take that tassel and move it from the right to the left. And presenting our 2016 graduating class.